I'm going to be going over the Community Center and the Creative Park, both of which can be found in the sidebar right here. I'll start with the Community Center. It just describes up top, welcome to the Community Center, your source for community resources and special events. And there's a couple different subsections. There's the Community Hub, the Special Events, and the Event Shops. I'm just going to start us off with the devlog. This was a relatively recent addition to the site. Welcome to our official devlog. This is a quick and easy way for Goatlings staff to post short messages about small updates and progress about the site, to post sneak peeks, general behind-the-scenes notes, and to give heads up about incoming updates and news posts. So, previously, before the creation of the devlog, most sneak peeks, updates, etc., were exclusively posted on the official Goatlings Discord, but to improve transparency between Crisco and the community, she decided to add this devlog so that you didn't have to be a member of the Discord to see sneak peeks and high-res images and all that good stuff. So, for example, like right here, there is a high-res image of the Sugarstar Gift AD and all of its accompanying items. This previously would have been Discord exclusive. There's also just a couple of other little things, like a warning about the Discord going to read only, a raffle, an event, a holiday event. So that is the gist of the devlog. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because there are many pages. I'm sure the important beats will be captured online elsewhere. I'm pretty sure you can access this without a login, but take that with a grain of salt. Next thing I want to go over is the special event info. So this is just a kind of list and a bunch of pages of resources about the different holiday-themed events that Goatlings puts on every year. During special events, the whole community can participate in limited time activities to earn rare items in Goatlings. 5 special events are held on Goatlings.com each year. As events may be updated, improved, or slightly changed each year, please view this guide as a general reference. So some of the info here might be outdated. There's also wiki pages about these events on the Goatlings wiki, which I have linked in the description of every video if you would like to learn more. So first we have the February Sweethearts Celebration. I'll just read the blurb here. The Sweethearts Celebration is a celebration of sweethearts. This is a month-long festival for creativity, kindness, love, and friendship. Main events are based on the forums due to member interaction. However, additional events are open to all. Members fill out and post a short form so other members can get to know them better. Form questions typically ask what the member's favorite Goatling is, if they collect specific items on the site, what their favorite hobby is, and what they're looking forward to. Members who post a form are known as sweethearts. The goal of this event is to shower sweethearts with kindness. Members will choose one or many sweethearts to treat. Sweethearts will randomly receive candygrams, artwork, words of kindness, writing, love, and wish list items from other members. And by love, they mean there is a feature on the site where you can go to someone's profile page and send them love, and that's basically just kind of an acknowledgement of, either them or their profile, or maybe you liked their goats, or maybe you did a nice trade with them, etc. I talked about that more in my previous video on the arcade. This event will also typically have raffles. Win a seasonal sweetheart plush and other event items. Giving tree drops. Find seasonal and other event items as well as member donations. Gifting gift. A gift for gift givers and exclusive for one event only. Diamond Dust Special. Exclusive for one event only. And a princess gift exclusive for one event only. About this more in my first video on the newbie guide, but the Diamond Dust, which was mentioned below, right here, was a currency that you had to buy with real money. You can see my Diamond Dust count next to my Sugarstar account up here, but the link to the Diamond Dust shop is broken right now. But basically, Diamond Dust, as I kind of already said, it was a premium currency. You had to buy it through PayPal and give real money to Crisco to obtain it. And you could buy several different things with Diamond Dust. You could buy account upgrades, like more pet slots. You could buy different appearance dolls, different HA Buddy items. There was also bi-monthly, like, seasonal Diamond Dust boxes, which contained special items, and a lot of the times would be themed around certain events. Like, for example, as this mentions and what the Diamond Dust specials meant at the bottom of the page here, there would be a seasonal Diamond Dust box, and there would also be a Sweetheart Celebration specific Diamond Dust box that would be released during the first week of February and taken away or discontinued at the last week of February. And that's kind of how it is for a lot of the other events as well. There were some boxes that would release specifically for Monster Masquerade, the October event, some that would release for Summer Carnival in July and August, and so on and so forth. Fun fact that I previously did not know, the Sweetheart Celebration used to be a member run event by a user called Faye before Goatlings staff adopted it and made it into an official event for everyone on the website to enjoy, which is very, very fun. I'm just going to go back to the main event info page. So after that, we have April's Jestling Jest. Here, Jestling's Jest event is all about unpredictable silliness. A very unusual goatling, Jestling doppelgangers, will make an appearance in the Misty Meadows 4 Explore area, and sometimes even the Battle Center. They will be carrying ridiculous loot that can sometimes be crafted. The event usually seems simple and easy, but unforeseen tediousness can play a hand. Event items are typically stocked in the Trickster's Tavern during and after the event. So, this event was mainly based on crafting and battling rather than form events like the Sweethearts event. So, the main premise, as the description already reads, is that this guy, the Jestling Doppelganger, would show up in both Misty Meadows 4 and the Battle Center, and when you battle it, it drops different loot that you can use to craft items so that you can either buy more items from the Trickster's Tavern or so that you can craft that year's Jestling Jest AD. For example, in 2024, the Jestling's Jest event AD was the Silly Billy AD, and the Jestling Doppelganger would drop a red, blue, and yellow handkerchief. Then, once you had all three colors, you could use it to craft a Silly Billy AD in the crafting shop through the shopping district. Um, as for the currency, the Jestling Doppelganger would drop a Jestling Bank, which were based on the appearance of the Jestling AD and the Jestling Rad. The Jestling Bank would drop just, um, well, you would have to open it multiple times because it would just drop itself over and over again, but then once you actually got the box open, it would just drop a fun buck. Meanwhile, the Rad Jest Bank would do the same thing where you would have to open it multiple times because you would just get another Rad Jest Bank over and over, and then it would drop the ingredients to make a fun buck, which you could then take to the crafting shop in the shopping district and use to make a fun buck. You could also get fun bucks just through random events, giveaways, and sometimes the baddies in the Justling Just event would just drop them randomly. Again, I would like to reiterate if you would like more information on how this event would go, what items would be dropped each year, and how it used to be versus how the most recent updates were, I cannot recommend enough that you go take a look at the Goatlings wiki page. I can try my best to describe it here, but I'm just one player. Sometimes my memory is a little bit shoddy on how these things work. I do try to fact check myself, but the best way to learn more about especially these holiday events is to go through the wiki and see the community curated description of how everything worked. That warning out of the way, I'm just going to get into the July and August Summer Night Carnival. Summer Night Carnival is open for roughly 2 months. Festivities begin in mid July and run until late August, giving members a chance to take their time and enjoy everything. Members can earn carnival tickets by participating in carnival attractions. Attractions include drawing, writing, photography, and putting together HA Buddy outfits. There's a little something for everyone. Carnival tickets can be traded in for a variety of prizes at the ticket vendor prize booth. Prizes are seasonal and more will be added each year. Members can also challenge the special event Battle Center baddie Tough Stuff. Tough Stuff will drop seasonal loot that can be crafted into carnival tickets and stamps that can be traded for seasonal loot from the Tough Stuff fan booth. Member run booths, games, and vendors are also quite popular during this time. Members that have access to forums can set up their own booth for the carnival. Booths can be anything simple and easy to manage, such as simple games, small art or custom shops, giveaways, raffles, and contests. Additional events during the Summer Night Carnival include raffles to win carnival tickets, a special event explore area for seasonal event loot, limited edition Diamond Dust lucky boxes, and members have the chance to find carnival tickets randomly around the site. So, again, this description is mostly self explanatory. I would just like to elaborate more on what they mean by the attractions. So, the carnival attractions or carnival games included a a raffle, which would be held every week that would give everyone a chance to win free carnival tickets. A face painting booth that provided a base of a goatling's face and gave different prompts for each different face painting. So, some of the prompts, for example, were things like firework, unicorn, princess, pop star, and you would draw a face paint design based on the prompts given on the blank bases and submit them through a forum post. In a similar vein, there was also an HA Buddy fashion booth where you had three prompts with an additional fourth prompt that was usually just a your choice, and you would dress up your HA buddy according to each prompt and then submit images of each HA buddy to the forum, just like how you would for the face painting event. In a similar vein, there was also the photography contest where you would be given another list of prompts like carnival food, crafts, things like that, and you would take photos of these things and post them again to a forum thread. There was also a writing contest where you could write a short story, anywhere from about 300 to 4,000 words, about what your goatling does during the Summer Night Carnival. I believe there would also be prompts for these if anybody needed any ideas. And the member run booths, which are mentioned down here and are pretty much exactly what the description says. It'd be simple games, art shops, giveaways, s- stuff like that. And anytime you submitted anything to these events, you would earn carnival tickets, which you could then spend at the ticket vendor prize booth. You could also earn carnival tickets by battling the Tough Stuff baddie in the battle center, and he would drop the crafting materials needed to make carnival tickets. This baddie would be introduced in July and then would be reset, like its health would be reset in August for the end of the event, so you would get two chances to kind of grind those battles and harvest or farm a bunch of ingredients. As this page mentions, there is also an explore area. I looked over it's currently not available to play, but I did look over the explore area archive for this exclusive event explore area in my video on the explore areas if you're interested in seeing that. And then we have the Monster Masquerade. Masquerade was arguably the biggest event on the site. Monster Masquerade is a friendly, team driven competition, our largest and most exciting event of the year. Members wishing to participate can join one of two teams. Once signed up, a special team tag will automatically appear under the member's username on forums and bulletin boards. The team tag will also automatically disappear when the event is over. Each team has their own mascot, and mascots change every year. Team members can participate in challenges to earn cursed coins and mascot themed lucky boxes for themselves and points for their team. The team with the most points at the end of the event will win an exclusive grand prize, a special fusion of both mascots. Cursed coins can be traded in for a variety of prizes at the Baleful Boutique. Prizes are seasonal and more are added each year. Challenges include a scavenger hunt, designing, drawing, writing, photography, putting together HA Buddy outfits, and sending gifts. There's a little something for everyone. As team slots are limited, Monster Masquerade has a selection of events anyone can enjoy whether or not they're on a team. These bonus events include giveaways, treat collecting, weekly raffles, battled crafts for mascot plushies, and a special event explore area for seasonal loot. So basically, how this would work was, um, a while before the event started, there would be a vote hosted on which member submitted designs. This recently changed so that it's all art staff designs due to issues with copyright in the past. But anyway, whichever Goatling designs should be the mascots for the year And it would be a list of about 6 to 8 goatlings, and you could vote for two. And the top two winning goats would be the mascots for the year. And then a couple of weeks before the event started, there would be team setup time slots day by day for about an hour each. There would be about 100 to 200 slots added to each team. And if you made it, you made it. If you didn't, you didn't. There were still events for people who could not get on a team, but most of the Monster Masquerade events were for people who were on teams. The goal for this event is to be the team with the most points by the end of the event. So as it says down here, there were a lot of different events that were going on. Most of them were forum centric. The scavenger hunt was a click-through story that you could read, and you would have to look for frogs throughout the story, which would have a code word. And once you found all the frogs by the end of the story, you would go back to the main thread and submit the final sentence that all of the code words made up. And usually it'd be something kind of vaguely related to the mascots or the theme of the Monster Masquerade. There was Ghoulish Graphics, which was dedicated to making promotional artwork of the different mascots. So you could just write, team blah blah blah, team blah blah blah. You could do a lot of people did GIFs, a lot of people did art of the goats, a lot of people did art of the accompanying items. Some people just did text with the colors, and then you could submit that to a forum. Connected to the scavenger hunt event, there was the haunted artwork event where you could submit a piece of artwork based on something that happened within the story. There was also Pumpkin Patch Prose, where you could, similarly to the event from Summer Night Carnival, you could write a story or a poem between a certain character limit about what your goatlings do during Monster Masquerade or what the mascots do, anything similar to that. For this writing event, there was a list of keywords, and you had to include at least 3 to 5 of them in order for your submission to count. Also, similar to the Summer Night Carnival events, there was a photography event where you would be given a list of prompts for things to photograph, and then you would submit one picture, and a Nightmare Squad event where you could dress up your HA buddy according to certain prompts and certain themes, and then also submit those. And finally, for the events, there was the Giving Treat Wars, where you had to give out at least 50 items in whichever way you chose. So you could send 50 of the same item to one user, you could send 50 unique items to 50 different unique users, you could send things to your friends. As long as you sent out a total of 50 items, you could submit a screenshot of your sent items list, which could be accessed through your inventory, and that would count for points. You had to complete at least 4 of these events if you were on a team in order to claim the grand prize of the mascot fusion AD by the end of the event. If your team won, because only the winning team got the mascot fusion AD. Each completed event granted you some cursed coins and some boxes themed around your mascot, and there would be a lot of trading going on between teams to get all of the different items. There's also monster boxes, which were released later into the event, and those have all of the ADs plus some extra that were listed for mascot voting but did not get chosen. Boxes for each mascot and monster boxes could be purchased in the Diamond Dust shop. As for people who were not on any teams, as it says down here, members could create their own little trick or treat stands, and they could draw or photograph different goodies for other people to take and then display on their own trick or treat stand page. There was also raffles for cursed coins that anyone could join. There was a haunted portrait baddie in the battle center that you could fight for items to craft plushies that resembled the mascots, and then you could combine one of each mascot plushie plus a third item to make a fusion mascot plushie. And again, similarly to Summer Night Carnival, there was a seasonal event Explore area, which I also covered in my video on the Explore areas. The mascots are given their own accounts during this event. Since these were just like regular user accounts in a way, you could send them love and you could also send them items, and two of these events relied on that. So whichever mascot made it to 10,000 love first won a bunch of points, and you got extra points for each 1,000 that you hit with a cap of 10,000 at the very end. People could also send the mascots items, which they used to donate to the Giving Tree, but due to bugs of the Giving Tree where items would duplicate themselves, instead these items would be put into the mascot account's user shops, and they would just be listed for one sugar star each. And for our final main event, we have the December Sugar Star Festival, which I believe I talked about a little bit in one of my other videos, but I do not remember which one. So there's this promotional art, which is also the same art they used to inform everyone about the site shutdown. So this reads, our very special end of year tradition is the Sugar Star Festival. All year long, Goatlings save their biggest and prettiest sugar stars and turn them into charms. On the last day of the year, December 31st, Goatlings gather together and stay up late in order to greet the new year at midnight. In the hours before midnight, the Sugar Star charms are given to others to express an important message. The color of each charm represents something different. Pink means I care about you, you're my good friend. Blue means you're appreciated, I'm glad you're here. Yellow means good luck and prosperity in the new year. Purple means I love you. Orange means I'm sorry. Green means I forgive you. And white means thank you. So, if you have something meaningful to say to someone but haven't had a good chance yet, or it's hard to say out loud, the Sugar Star Festival is the perfect time to let it out. Throughout December, Sugar Star charm boxes will be available as free gifts from the Goat Princess. When opened, you'll receive a random Sugar Star charm. Sugar Star charm boxes will be available in the Diamond Dust Shop and Saturday Night Bidding Wars as well, which I also talked about the Saturday Night Bidding Wars in a previous video. I just do not remember which one at the moment. I think it's one of the longer ones. Save your charms until December 31st to give them out. At the strike of midnight, everyone yells Happy New Year to wish everyone a good new year. The Goat Princess will then gift a special year badge to commemorate and thank everyone for joining us during the past year. So this one is a little bit smaller. There's not any real, battle center events or forum events. It's just that these sugar starter boxes are handed out and you can open them to receive different charms. And depending on the color of the charm, they all mean something different. And you can send them out to all of your friends on the website. And then you can also claim a special badge or a year badge, which is just a differently shaped and colored badge with the age of the site on it. And that is about it for all of the different special event info pages. These are kind of important context for our event calendar over here, which is the next thing on the community center. So this is just a general calendar of when things are supposed to happen on the website. Up here it says the current year of the website, which is year 14, and then it also says the Chinese zodiac for the year. So this year is the year of the snake. I've also talked about this in a previous video, but every year Goatlings has a different Chinese zodiac themed baddie, and this baddie stays in the battle center all year long. So since this year is the year of the snake, that means our current baddie is snake themed and all of its drops are also snake themed. So January is the middle of the winter season. The Yeti and minions appear at the battle center for the month, and the Chinese Zodiac's baddie appears at the battle center and, as I said earlier, stays the whole year. February is the end of the winter season. The Cootie Baddie and minions appear at the battle center. This is also when the Sweetheart celebration begins and takes place, and the winter goat token game ends. I've talked more about the goat token game in my video on the arcade. March is the beginning of the spring season. The Tri-Leaf Clover and minions appear at the battle center, and the spring goat token game opens. April is the middle of the spring season. The Spring Bunny and minions appear at the battle center, and the Justlings Just event takes place. May is the end of the spring season. The Sleepy Sunflower and minions appear at the battle center, and the spring goat token game ends. June is the beginning of the summer season. The Heatwave and minions appear at the battle center, and Justice June takes place, which is a charity fundraiser that began in 2020, and I will try to talk more about that in a second. And the summer goat token game opens. July is the middle of the summer season. The Squid Kid and minions appear at the battle center, and the Summer Night Carnival begins. August is the end of the summer season. The Phoenix Fox and minions appear at the battle center. The Summer Night Carnival ends, and the Summer Goat Token ends. September is the beginning of the fall season. The cold Frisian and minions appear at the battle center, and the fall goat token game begins. October is the middle of the fall season. The Scarecrow and minions appear at the battle center, and the Monster Masquerade begins. And it's supposed to end during October, but last year or this year, and I'm pretty sure the year before, it started a little late, so it ended a little late, so it ended in early November. And then November is the end of the fall season. The Frost Guardian and minions appear at the battle center, and the Fall Goat token game ends. And then December is the first part of the winter season. The surprise box and minions appear at the battle center. The Sugar Star Festival takes place. The Chinese Zodiac baddie retires for the year. Everyone receives that year badge I was talking about earlier, and the Winter Go Token game officially opens. We also have a couple of weekly, monthly, bi monthly, and yearly events. You may have noticed that the event calendar had Justice June on there, but there was no special event page for Justice June, so I am going to be borrowing heavily from the Goatlings wiki for this one. Let me scroll back up to the top. The Justice June charity fundraiser was created June 14th, 2020, in response to the Black Lives Matter movement happening across the United States. It's an annual fundraiser that runs for an entire month, and all funds raised are donated to a Black led charity, and the charity changed year by year. The charity can be found in the fundraisers tab of the community center, which is currently broken right now, during the month of June, where users who donate through Goatlings will receive an exclusive item. And the main face of this event is Justice, or the shopkeeper of the coffee shop. I am going to just do a quick scroll through this whole page. I would like to encourage you all to still donate to and support these very important organizations, even though there is no more Goatlings, or there will be no more Goatlings, and there will be no more Justice June events through Goatlings. The work that these different charities do is so, so important and always will be. And in the current, I mean, I'm a Goatlings archive channel, so I don't really have a whole lot of room to talk here. But in the current political climate we're in, all of these organizations are even more important than ever. So please, if you have the resources, if you have the time, please try to support them in any way you can. The only two pages left in the Community Hub section of the Community Center are fundraisers and team signups. Fundraisers are currently closed, but this is where the Tip a Mod event would be held. There were several different boxes you could purchase through the Tip a Mod event, and all of the money raised through the Tip a Mod event would go towards mods of, I believe, both the site and the Discord. And then team signups is pretty exclusively just for the Monster Masquerade. Here is a schedule of when slots would be added to each team. So, September 27th, there would be 250 slots added to each team. September 28th, there would be 200 added to each team. September 29th, there would be 100 to each team. And September 30th, there would be 50 to each team. So, 1,200 members with 600 per team in total. And then there's just a couple of rules and limitations here. Please don't sign up unless you're planning on doing the forum events and contributing to the team. Creating multiple accounts to gain an unfair advantage can lead to a ban. etc., etc. So that is it for the community hub. These are all of the different special event pages. These just lead to the main threads for and the more detailed descriptions of each event, but they don't let you access them when the event is out of season. And none of these are really open except for not even the Sugar Star one is open. Yeah, all of these are currently closed, but it's just these pages were the main way to access all of the events going on when they were going on. And then this is a list of all the event shops. I've talked about the daily errands in my video on the arcade. I think I've also scrolled through all of these before, but if not, just in case, I'm going to do a quick scroll through of everything that these shops contain. And I'll also look at the daily errands exchange just because it's on this page. And that is it for the community center. Just a quick overview. So next I want to discuss the Creative Park. Bonjour, welcome to Creative Park. I am Listache, your guide. Here you will find templates and guides to design your own Goatlings. Also find goodies to personalize your profile, shop, and gallery. More fun things will be added over time. Choose your destination below. Most of these are just images, so I'm going to start with Design a Goatling because this is going to have the most text. I'm not going to read everything, but I will try to go over the highlights. Here on Goatlings.com, one of the main ways members can contribute to the site is with member-created designs. Members may enter their Goatlings designs, HA Buddy outfits, items, display name icons, and even baddies. All skill levels are welcome, and your design may become an official part of the Goatlings world. Eligible entries will be selected by site staff and/or votes made by other members. If a member-created design is chosen, the member will receive a special announcement and credit in the news, credit in the item's description, and an official in-game copy of their designs. Calls for entry will be posted in the news. Every month, we have an opportunity to enter limited edition designs for our monthly battle center. Additional updates will often be open for entries as well, such as appearance doll shop updates, special events, goat token game, design a goatling contest, treasure trivia, fundraisers, wishing well, and more. If they choose to, members may create a thread in the member created designs forum to organize and share their designs all in one place. Designs must be the member's original work and not heavily inspired or copied from existing characters, designs, or any other media that is not their own. They also give an example here, so this would be the reference, this would be a direct copy to the point where they would not want to include it on the site for fear of copyright issues, and then this is an example of light inspiration, which would be okay with them as long as you name what your inspiration was. So, say if you submitted this design and said, light inspiration taken from the design of Hatsune Miku, they would still allow that. This is actually an official AD on the site that was, in fact, lightly inspired by Hatsune Miku, which is why they're using it in this example right here. AI generated art and text is not permitted on site and will be removed. AI generated art and text is considered theft and not the member's original work. Using AI generated art for official contests, art events, written events, and commissions will disqualify the member from future contests and may result in a ban or mute based on severity. By submitting designs to the site, you're agreeing to let us feature and use the design in the following ways. Member created designs will be available to other members via Battle Center, Shopping District, events, or arcade. Goatlings.com staff may feature certain member created designs in official merchandise such as gazettes, stickers, buttons, etc. Member created designs may be featured in advertisements such as sneak peeks for our official Discord and social media. Members may sell commissioned drawings of member created designs to other members. There's also a basic template and design guide here for Goatlings. This is a downloadable image for Photoshop, one for Paint Tool SCI, one that's just a regular transparent PNG, and one that's just JPEG. And the base looks like this. Please do not drastically alter the Goatling template or pose. Please do not base your Goatling on a copyrighted character or design. Try to keep the Goatling looking like a goat. For example, don't change it into a sheep, deer, etc. Keep the designs relatively simple. Details should be recognizable at 200 by 200 pixels. We prefer if members did not add extra limbs or horns as they can be hard to make out after they've been resized. Gore is prohibited. Unpleasant or disturbing imagery is also prohibited. The Goatling must not appear to be injured or in pain. Goatlings' hairstyles are typically short, but that's not a strict requirement. Goatlings are cheerful creatures that are always smiling, only add a frown if it's necessary or makes sense for the design. Please note, the designs are redrawn by our official art team so it fits in with the site style. Sometimes the design will be slightly altered or simplified in the process, but nothing drastic. Examples of changes are enlarging details so they can be seen easier, simplifying complex details, color balancing, and reverting redrawn templates. This is just more elaboration on some of those rules and some examples. So this is about the limb or pose edit rule. This first one is okay because they're barely changing the pose at all. They're just adding some extra fur, changing the tail and horns, etc., etc. This one is okay because this is technically a mermaid tail, which is used for many goatlings on the site. And this one is not okay because they change the position of the legs. And then this is just some examples of some acceptable modifications. Wings are okay, different fur is okay, different ears is okay, different expressions are alright. It's just that you don't want the goat looking like something that is not a goat. They have pushed this rule quite a bit. They've pushed a couple of these rules quite a bit, especially this one and the extra detail rule. They also have a guide for HA buddy templates and like making HA buddy items. Much of the same stuff here. There's a downloadable for Photoshop, a downloadable for Paint Tool SCI, a transparent PNG, a JPEG, and a PNG of a speech bubble. So this is just what the regular JPEG looks like. It's just the outline for the HA buddy. And the only real rule they specify for this one is that items can't be behind and in front of the base at the same time, especially on the head and neck area. It has to be one or the other, so be careful with hoods and hats. The design may look fine on a bald HA buddy, but it won't work with a hair layer. And then there is a example down here. Light sources for HA buddies becomes from directly above. And there's also a quick guide for display name icons and item art. So that is about it for all of the design guides. Going back to the creative park, most of the rest of this, as I said earlier, is just images. So these are flare banners. There's a section for profile banners, shop banners, gallery banners, welcome banners, and mini banners. And a little guide at the bottom on how to change your profile, shop, and gallery banner. As you can see here, it'll show the image of what the banner looks like, and then it gives you some HTML code so that you can plug it into your profile. I'm just going to do a quick scroll through of all of these. These are all available on these several different high-res image archives. You just have to find them. We also have some graphics, which are just larger images. We also have a couple of basic profile layouts. To change your profile layout, copy one of the codes below, then click on My Stuff, then My Settings, and paste the code into the profile text box and click Update Settings. After that, you can go back and customize the text. There's also some printable coloring pages. These are all kind of able to be shown at once, luckily. And then finally, we have a couple of avatars. And this, I believe, is an old design for Goat Princess because I think she used to just have half blue, half pink bangs and then fully pink hair. But now, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, now she has the full split dye. So that's interesting that that's still there. Aside from that, though, that is it for the creative park. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all of your support so far. If you have any questions or requests, please let me know in the comments. If you have anything that you would like to send to me directly, I have a Gmail in my YouTube bio that you can email. As I stated earlier, I will collect the links for the Justice June charities and put them in the description. I will also put all my regular links in the description. Thank you again. See you in the next one.